the other one was an opportunity for Chelsea to go top of the table, even although Liverpool are playing today, shortly as we speak. They go to Spurs. But Chelsea, this was like attack against counter-attack, because Everton had one or two chances. Robert Sanchez made a couple of smart saves. But basically, it was mainly Chelsea, and they just couldn't find a way either past the Everton defence, and when they did, past Jordan Pickford. What do you make of this game, LME?
Yeah, I think it was that. I think it was just a good day for Everton, to be honest. You saw Sean Dyche being so happy at the end getting that point. And, once again, they held Arsenal, right? They got another clean sheet before that against Wolves. So this is clearly the Sean Dyche special, right? Let's just be really good defensively before we can worry about anything offensively. Even though, by the way, Everton did have, as you mentioned, some chances. Robert Sanchez had to come up. Tosin had to do a really good defensive block. That could have been a goal for Everton as well. Jack Harrison had some moments. So there were moments for Everton, but they're a reactive team, right? They do that low block and they try and just push you whenever they're running out of ideas. I think it was just an off day for Chelsea. I don't think there's anything to be worrying about here. They have enough firepower, obviously, to get back to it. So really, this is more about Everton, once again, keeping a clean sheet, because let's not forget, they did that against Arsenal as well. So, this is really just a good defensive performance of Everton, and hopefully something for them to really build up upon, of course, regarding the recent announcement of their ownership and how that can maybe build some confidence for them. But Chelsea, it was an off day, but they'll get back on it. But, as we speak, Liverpool fans will be happy regarding that point for sure.
As far as what Everton did today, can that be a blueprint for other teams facing Chelsea or facing Arsenal? Because Crystal Palace didn't do that yesterday and got thumped 5-1 against Arsenal at home. The problem is the onus is kind of on you as the home team, isn't it, to try and push forward. Sean Dyche doesn't care. I mean, he did what he did at Arsenal, got a bit of luck, some great defending and good goalkeeping, got a goalless draw. And I'm glad you kind of grouped the Arsenal game and the Wolves game as well with this one today, because Everton fans don't go to Goodison expecting a swashbuckling style of play under Sean Dyche, because they're not going to get that. That's not his style. But if they did that today, they would have been probably thumped. But it's just difficult. As much as it's a blueprint, home teams kind of feel the onus, because their fans do, to push forward, but not Everton.
No, and it's about objectives. Chelsea's trying to, at this point, regardless of what Esca says, trying to get a top four. We think perhaps they're in a title race, and Everton is trying to stay in the league right now, and so Sean Dyche, and like you said, what you're getting with Sean Dyche. Okay, and at this point, Everton are trying to be a team that is trying to collect points, especially at Goodison Park, especially at a time when they need to make sure they're strong at home. So today was a good point for Everton, another clean sheet, and another way to build momentum. And to just bring up the point at the very beginning that you mentioned, yes, I think that this is a good way to play Chelsea, because Chelsea absolutely love playing against teams that are coming at you offensively, because the moment they get the ball, that's when they can really just unroll the gifts of offensive firepower, right? But today, Everton were like, no, we're going to hold. It's kind of like what Diego Simeone said before that game against Barcelona. There's a connection here. He said, if we're going to beat Barcelona, we're just not going to try and score. We're going to just try and hold you. And I think that's kind of what Everton try and do. It's not that their lack of ideas. Clearly, when they go forward, they like to do it. But they first begin with keeping a clean sheet, led from Jordan Pickford and then onwards. And I think that's going to be tricky for Chelsea, who just love to just, go out with somebody that also likes to do things creatively. So a good point for Everton, nothing to freak out from a Chelsea standpoint. Obviously, it ends their great winning run, but, it's good for Everton to keep this, because they're going to be in this fight to stay in the Premier League once again.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the league table. They've only scored 14 goals, but they've conceded few. Yeah, but they've conceded fewer than Manchester City. And I know they've conceded more, but that's the way it is. That it's tight. You're not going to get many games that have got more than kind of 2 or 3 goals involving Everton, but that's fine. And right now, there's many more than just the 3 teams that are worse than them, and certainly not as well organised. Let's end with Chelsea. Cole Palmer, wasn't his day today, couldn't really get going simply because he couldn't really be found. And there was him, there was Nico Jackson who hit the post. Everton maybe had a clumsy challenge after that by Jordan Pickford, but it was cleared by VAR. But when you don't have Palmer and you don't have Jackson firing on all cylinders, is this what you get if you're Chelsea?
Yeah, I mean, the focal points, as we know, is Cole Palmer, clearly their most influential player. Enzo Fernandez, we've known that he's been doing well recently, wasn't working out for him. Nico Jackson, you've mentioned, of course, he missed a few chances. And Chelsea relies so much on that individual prowess when they go forward that when it doesn't click, then it's obviously not going to click. But again, I think this is more about them being frustrated by an Everton side who knew exactly what they were facing today, and they weren't going to fall for it. They were just going to try and be defensively sound. And you said it, like Cole Palmer couldn't be found many ways, and that's because they were facing an Everton side that were just trying to basically stay compact. It's just an off day for them offensively. It's nothing, they'll get back to it. I mean, let's remember, they're coming off a 5-match winning run here. This is a very, very good team that has a massive roster. It's just that today they were held against a very resilient Everton.
Yeah, I mean, it's a point at Goodison. It's not the worst result in the world. It does stop them from going top for the first time for 3 years, though, with Liverpool about to face Spurs. The big winners of the day were Wolves at Leicester, a good 3-0 win for them. Bournemouth, massive winners today at Old Trafford. Southampton, who got a point at Fulham, and Everton, who got a point against Chelsea. And without even kicking a ball yet, Liverpool, with Chelsea unable to win on Merseyside. Join us straight after Spurs against Liverpool for ESPN FC Live as we react to the events in North London. Bye for now.